what's the attitude in the locker room after these last 2 wins, putting up a lot of points? Is it fun being on the offensive side of the ball for these guys? Are they starting to kind of settle in and have a little bit more fun on the football field?
Yeah, I think so. I think it happens on Saturdays after the game, Sundays, and then, middle of the day on Monday, they start to transition on to another game and get back serious on the preparation. So I think we try to take 24 hours as a coaching staff to really enjoy a victory, but then you got to get back to work, and start preparing for another one.
What do you think of Pitt's defense?
I think they're very sound. They don't do much on defense, which means they really understand, all different concepts of their defense. They understand, how to match their defenses against different formations because they're simple. Now they do have a pressure package where they're going to put a lot of pressure on our running backs to pick up some blitzes, put some pressure on our quarterback, understanding, how coverages work behind pressures. But we know that, this coach has done a good job coaching defense for the most of his career. So we're going to have our hands full.
How much have you guys tried to take advantage of one-on-ones that Jamari kind of gets on the outside?
Well, you always try to take it. You try to find a matchup throughout the game. Find a way to get one of your top players one-on-one when he has a matchup. And it's not just with Jamari, but with Quick, with Jalen. There's a lot of guys. Travion one-on-one. Cole, we got Cole and Jamari in a 2-on-2 on the sideline, on our sideline the other day, and we're able to switch those two guys, and they messed up the switch. We're able to get Cole down the sideline for a touchdown. But that's the art of offensive football. Try to find a mismatch and find a one-on-one.
Did Cole's play, the hurdle play, look any more impressive on film than it did from the sideline?
No. Cole probably could have stayed on the ground and made a move because he's got ability to make fakes and really, he's a very powerful kid that he could have stayed on the ground and got a little more yards. I think what happened is he panicked when the guy was right in front of him, and his first instinct was to jump. It just shows that he has a tremendous amount of athletic ability, to make that play. But we would like for him to stay on the ground and, safe on the ground.
Do you like the situation right now where you've got 3 quarterbacks that can come in and impact the game in the same game and contribute the way that those guys did on Saturday?
Yeah, I wish I had more. But it's always good to see them, run out there when Reggie and Lamar runs on the field. I tell them they're like the 6th man on the basketball team. They're supposed to run out there and make it happen. We're not putting those guys on the field just to continue what we're doing. We want you guys to go out there and excite our crowd, ignite our team. That's your role. And they're doing a good job of it. They really take a lot of pride in it. Like I've been saying all year, these kids have a tremendous attitude about just winning games, whatever we can do to win. And their role right now is to run out on the field and ignite our team. And I think they're taking pride in it.
Has there been a common thread in the offensive line playing better the last couple weeks?
Well, they're doing a better job. I think they're starting to understand more about football. There's a spot where you got to learn our plays when you got all new guys. Then you got to learn defensive structure and how defensive linemen and linebackers and coverages work. And then you got to put it all together and mix our plays within the defensive structure. And then once you get that figured out, they blitz. Then now everything's out the window. I got to go to something else. And I think that they're learning and they're at the point where they can start to anticipate, defensive line movements based on where linebackers are placed, or they can see safeties getting width so they understand certain things are about to happen, or they are listening to the calls that the opposite side of the O-line is making, telling them what their side of the line is going to do. That it's a tough job to play offensive line, And I think that they're starting to, figure out, how the game's played up there.
Is that just a matter of those guys playing more and playing more games?
Yeah, just reps, just more practice sessions, more meetings, more teaching. We know Clonakis does a really good job teaching those kids, and then just getting more reps, more things happening, more game plans. I think it's called experience.
So, you guys talked about maybe just, I don't know, I mean, every game is obviously very important, but just the Pitt is a team that has sort of a similar record to you guys, probably is going to be going up for some of the same bowls you guys could be in, and maybe just the importance of a win like that on the road and kind of raising your profile and things like that.
Well, we got a lot of respect for the program. We've seen when you're playing in your conference games, you get what you call crossover games, which means we're preparing for Syracuse defense, so we watch a lot of Pitt's offense because they played a couple of weeks before, and that happens a lot throughout the season. So we got a lot of respect for those guys. They're physical. They got big kids. So a conference game on the road against a very physical team, is a challenge for anyone. We're going to accept that challenge. We represent, our university and our fan base everywhere we go. So our kids are really excited about going on the road playing like this.
What have you thought of Radcliffe's kind of, the great couple of weeks he's had and sort of reemergence that he's had as such a top guy?
It's amazing, what's happened to him in the last couple of weeks. His attitude, he looks like the running back that we thought, he would be to start the season. It's hard to put your finger on what happened. I do know that we were out there in pregame warm-ups a couple games ago, and one of the teams shoved him, and he was really upset about that. And, that could have something to do with it. But I just think it's about getting in rhythm. I think everybody is playing a little bit better, playing with a little more confidence. And I think that him being one of the captains is really good to have him out there playing well, because now his voice is really heard in the locker room because he's back to playing ball the way that, we all expect him to play.
Not necessarily one of your guys, but a guy on the team. Appleby is like a married guy on the team, maybe the only married guy on the team. I don't know. What do you think it's like to be a college football player who's married?
I have no idea.
Can you imagine being I don't know when you got married, but I mean, like when you were playing, and what do you think that's like for you? As a family, legitimate at home.
I don't know what it's like. I have no idea, but I do know that that's a very mature kid. I got to meet his family here in the off season. They were here, on campus in our locker room. Just watch him, how he trains, how he takes care of his body. So if anyone can handle that type of responsibility, he's one of the guys that can, because he's a very responsible and mature kid.
So what have you seen from Pitt defensively that you guys might be able to exploit going into this matchup?
Well, it's still early in the week, so we're still kind of game planning and, trying to see if there are some weaknesses in their defense that we can attack. But, the main focus today was really just coming out here, having a new game plan, new looks, and things like that, and just coming out here and executing.
Gotcha. And having the 6 wins, bowl eligibility locked up, does that make things not necessarily easier for you, but take some pressure off you guys as you go through the rest of the year?
We want to win as many games as we can. We're happy that we got bowl eligible last week with a great victory, but as a team, our overall focus is improving each week and trying to get better each and every opportunity we get.
Reggie, what is this now, I guess, month or so, or even more so, been like for you as you continue to kind of make this transition and play some other positions?
It's not too hard. Growing up, I did this fairly often on different teams that I played with. So it's not too big of a transition. I enjoy it a lot. Just to be able to be so versatile and be able to play so many different positions to help the offense and broaden our scheme. So whatever I can do to help the team move the ball down in the end zone to get 6 points, I'm willing to do that.
Was that pretty fun to throw a touchdown pass again?
Oh yeah, it's always fun to get 6 points on the board, and however you get that, it is what it is. But it was a good play call. We executed it all week last week, so it was fun to finally get out there and do something.
What kind of threat does that present? Also, that you can throw the ball so well, even if you're lined up at running back.
I guess it keeps the defenses all balanced. Ever since I did make that transition, every time I get out there for the first time, his defenses are always calling out number 7, the quarterback, and things like that. So, it's something that you have the game plan against, and just look forward to.
What do you think of how the coaches have now, with Kyle, I guess, starting here, of getting all 3 of you guys on the field and trying to, as opposed to having 2 guys that don't play at all, or something like that, just trying to maximize your all skills?
I'm happy that the coaches believe in our skill set to be out there on the field. And again, no matter the position, our main focus as an offensive unit and as a team is to go out there and execute. And that's what we strive to do.
What have you thought of Kyle's play the last couple of weeks?
He's played phenomenal. Just taking control over the offense. Being a leader out there on the field when the coaches are on the sideline during the game. Just staying positive and keeping the offense upbeat and making plays for us.
And what do you think it's been like for Lamar to see his role change a little bit now and maybe see Kyle start? Me speaking on my past experiences in that kind of similar situation, I think it's good for him, to sit back. You've played a couple of games, and I think now is when he really starts to grow and, learn the concepts of different defensive structures and our playbook as well. And you can sit back and watch and see another guy go through it and learn a lot from it. What kind of weapon is he to kind of bring in? Maybe he broke out the 45-yard run as his first play in there.
Oh yeah, it's always good to see number 8 back there making plays. So again, whenever we get the opportunity to go out there on the field during the game, our main goal is to go out there and make a play for the team.
Being put in different positions on the field at different times, does that give you a different perspective on the defense? And is that something that you and Kyle or Lamar can go back and talk about? Hey, I see this, and you see that sort of thing during the game.
Yeah, I think it helps me out a lot. Starting off with my foundation, knowing the playbook at quarterback, I knew what everybody's supposed to do, and now being at different positions, I know what the quarterback's looking at if I'm running the route or things like that. So if I see a guy move, I know where the ball is probably going and things like that. So I think for the most part, it's helped me out a lot. I think that's why I've been able to transition so quickly to doing what I'm doing now and not have too big of an issue with it.
Reggie, to see kind of the numbers the run game's put up the last couple of weeks, just how far the offensive line's come this season, how would you kind of assess how far this offense has come as a whole and what you all can possibly do the last couple of weeks here?
We knew it was going to take some time early in the season just because there were so many younger guys out there. But, as the season went on, we started to, feel it click. And, a couple of weeks ago, it finally did. And it was no surprise to us in the stadium and in the locker room. So, we're pleased with the progress, but we feel like we have a lot more to improve on.